Hey there, loved ones. Welcome to well, blah, 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 blah.
Take two.
Try this again. Hey there, loved ones. Welcome to week 6 of the Pride and Joy Predictions podcast, the series in which my friend Steve and I get together every week to discuss the latest happenings of the NFL, be it the stupid upset games that ruin everything or the really cool comeback games that we're happy to see. And then we also give our predictions for the upcoming slate of games of the week.
Yeah. I just hope this week will go better than last week there,
Me
my
too.
opinion.
I had an absolutely atrocious week 5 record. So, with
Hmm.
all of that out of the way, let's just jump straight into the standings because, fun fact, the winner of this week, Savage Owl, went 10-4, and yours truly went 4-10. So, yeah,
Yikes.
it wasn't kind to me. So, here's our new standings. Because of that, John is now in first with 50, 27, and 1. I have fallen to second with 49, 28, and 1, followed by Rev in third at 48, 29, and 1. SDS and Savage Owl, with the amazing week that he had, are 47, 30, and 1. Steve has 46, 31, and 1, followed by Draz and Alex Faye at 45, 32, and 1. Papa Agron and Beers are tied with 44, 33, and 1. Buff has 42, 35, and 1, and Troll had a really good record as well. I believe he went 9-5 in week 5, and that brings him up to 31, 46, and 1. But not everything went horribly. We have a game of the week to discuss, and while both of us did get this one wrong, very few actually got this one right. I was extremely happy to watch that game go the way that it did. We have the Denver Broncos comeback against the Eagles as our game of the
Yeah,
week.
absolutely. Absolutely. It was filled with drama from the get go.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, though, I do think that most of the drama was saved for the fourth quarter. I think that, the Eagles, I believe, were up 17-3 going into the fourth. And then the Broncos scored 18 unanswered points, including a 2-point conversion that gave me so much anxiety when I seen it happening. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you going to do this? Now you're going to lose by 1. Oh my God. But then they actually pulled it off. And I'm still not really entirely on board with the idea. I'm just happy that it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then next up for our recap here, we have the regret of the week. And I have 10 of them to choose from, so I'm just going to let you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. My regret there is obviously doubting the Tampa Bay Bucks against the Seahawks there.
You know what? That is valid. That is very valid. I knew that the game would be close. I think one of the reasons that Seattle lost was once again a missed field goal by Myers. John can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that was part of the reason that they ended up losing. But the Bucks just always find a way, no matter how heart attack inducing the game might be. They always find a way to pull it out. So
True.
good for them. It was definitely a good game. Very high scoring. It was 38-35, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really high score. Very well done. For me, I have technically 2 of them. Like I said, I have a lot to choose from. So rather than just saying everything, I'll narrow it down to not trusting Jaden Daniels' return against the Chargers. I fully expected him to have some issues just coming back, but he actually did pretty well. And also, I went against my gut, and I did not choose the alternately good Panthers, even though I literally said they're good one week and bad the next. So that was the week they should have been good, and they ended up coming back similarly to the Broncos. I think Miami had a 17-point lead, and they blew it. So
True.
that's always fun. And then the honorable mentions, I only have one. I don't know if there's anything that you want to talk about, but I have a tiny, tiny bit of a rant here with my honorable
Yeah.
mention. So I'm just going to dive in.
Obviously, I know what it is there, so I'll let you have the floor with this one.
All right. So Arizona. Um, Now, I thought that them not being able to do math was bad enough in
Mhm.
numerous games that I've noticed, but they had quite possibly one of the worst and most embarrassing,
Mhm.
hilarious collapses against a pretty bad team that we have seen in
Mhm.
a very long time.
Yeah.
So, heading into the fourth quarter, they had a 21-6 lead.
Mhm.
They were attempting to go up 28-6, and they fumbled before crossing the goal line because apparently when
Mhm.
you're inches from the goal line, everybody just thinks that they can drop the ball.
Mhm.
You literally can't do that. And then they picked off Cam Ward, but they
Mhm.
fumbled the interception and couldn't recover it, which allowed Tennessee to recover it in the end zone for a touchdown of their own,
Yeah.
making it 21-19 with only 5 minutes left.
Mhm.
And then all they had to do was get into field goal range and kick it for the game winner, which they did, 22-21. It's
Yeah.
just that was one of the most hilarious collapses in the fourth quarter that I have seen in a very long time. Completely different from what Philadelphia did with Denver, because at least Denver, you can kind of expect Denver to do some things.
Mhm.
This was Tennessee. You let
Yeah.
Tennessee come back on you like that.
Yeah. You got problems.
They definitely have problems. I don't like truly understand what Arizona's up to, but
Mhm.
it was rough. Heading into week
Okay.
6, we have two teams on the bye.
We have the Houston Texans, obviously coming off their most shocking win over the Ravens there.
Huge.
Yeah. And the Minnesota Vikings coming back from the UK there with a win and a loss there.
Yep, they had an Ireland stint where they lost to Pittsburgh and then they beat the Browns in London. So they get a chance to rest now, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very, very good.
Yep.
So, without any further ado, let me get into my games section here and turn this
Okay.
sucker on. First up, we have Thursday Night Football. The aforementioned collapsing Eagles will be going to the Giants, who had a little bit of a collapse of their own, losing to
Yeah.
the Saints 26-14.
Yeah. Two NFC East teams coming off surprising losses there,
Yeah.
in
Now,
my
I will
opinion.
say, I do think that the Giants got a little bit of a big head when they beat the Chargers, and I think the fan bases also did, because we were
Mm-hmm.
all like suckered in by the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they beat the Chargers, and Jackson Dart looked really good, and we were all really high on him, riding on the hype, and it's just,
Yeah.
this proves that any given Sunday is true.
True. Yeah. Yeah. But for me, Jackson Dark's loss was mainly because of his favorite wide receivers out for the season there.
Yeah, like I was really hoping that like Wandell Robinson and the others would actually be able to help. I was hoping that Scadaboo would be enough, but
Mm-hmm.
apparently no. So they're truly going to miss Neighbors, and this kind of puts the rest of their season in a little bit of jeopardy here.
True.
Not that they really had much of a season to fight for anyway, because
Yeah.
you know it's the Giants,
Yeah.
but still, they had a little bit of hope with Jackson Dart,
Yeah.
and now it's just kind of like, how do we combat now not having a number one receiver?
Yeah. True.
But hey, speaking of receivers, though, did you catch the Hail Mary that wasn't? Because AJ Brown certainly didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked the ball out of his own teammate's hand during the Hail
Oh,
Mary grab.
wow.
They were both going up for it, and he kind of
Mhm.
blocked the catch. Like one
Yeah.
of them should have come down with it, and he
Exactly.
kind of pushed it away from the other receiver. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of funny considering he was being real cryptic with his Instagram stories and tweeting and stuff. And it's like, man is so mad about getting his touches that when he finally has a chance to, he just chooses to not, I guess. It was really funny seeing how that play ended because they had a shot, legitimately had a decent opportunity at beating Denver, but the Hail Mary that wasn't.
Yeah. So the, the, I'm hoping the players only meeting on Monday there will resolve their issues there and get them back on track there.
I hope so. Like, I don't really think that there's anything like nefarious going on with AJ Brown. I don't think that he's actually bitter about not getting receptions like he should be. I just
Mm-hmm.
think that it's a fun narrative to push, and so here I am, kind of trying to push that a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all going to be fine. I mean, they still have a really high-powered offense. They just need to learn how to play a whole game,
True.
and I think facing the Giants, that's a really good opportunity to keep your foot on the throat, keep
Mm-hmm.
your foot on the accelerator, and dominate this game. So I'm going to
Exactly.
go with the Eagles in this one. What about you?
100% agree with you there. Lock it in.
All right, good. Got that one typed up. Now, next up, we go back to London again for the second week in a row. The
Mm-hmm.
aforementioned Denver Broncos, high off of their win, will be taking on the Jets, who are desperately
Yeah.
looking for their first win.
Yeah. 0-5 there. I'd say this team is heading towards a dumpster fire there.
Yeah, they're definitely in some trouble. Admittedly, it is Aaron Glenn's first season. We didn't expect a lot out of it. They desperately need a franchise QB that they can actually
Mm-hmm.
rely on. I do
Mm-hmm.
like Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. I still want the best for him. I think that he could be decent. It's just like anytime he shows flashes of potential, then he finds a way of messing it all up in that same span of time. So it's kind of a bit of a give and take with him. Like you don't really know which one you're going to get.
True. True.
But I am looking forward to the future of the Jets because I do really like Aaron Glenn. I just hope that he can kind of turn things around.
Exactly. Yeah. And obviously, the Broncos after last week's huge win there, they they want to show another another great week there that they can contend in the AFC West there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that division is so wide open, unless you're the Raiders, that any team could honestly take it. And so this is a really good week for them because if they can dominate the Jets like they should be able to do with their defense, I think that they have a legitimate shot at taking the division. Because Kansas City is
True.
kind of overrated. I'm just saying. Kansas City is
Yeah.
overrated. The Chargers will be the Chargers. This could easily
Mm-hmm.
be Denver's shot to actually take it. So I
Exactly.
am going to go with Denver because I think their defense is going to do glorious things. Which
Yeah.
reminds me, I have to make sure I start them in my ESPN fantasy league because I don't think I have
Yeah.
yet.
There you go. Yeah. I'm going to 100% agree with you and take the Broncos to win over in jolly old London, England.
Yep, yep. So hopefully their overseas trip will also end with a win.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so back stateside now, we have the freaking Cardinals, who I just
Mm-hmm.
despise right now,
Yeah.
going to the Colts, who are very surprising in their own right,
True.
completely obliterating Vegas.
Yeah. But obviously, the big story with the Colts is their star quarterback, Indianapolis Jones.
Yeah, honestly, I'm still kind of waiting for this fever dream to end because who would have ever thought that Daniel Jones would be a star quarterback in this league after what he's gone through with the Giants and then being a backup for Minnesota. And it's just like
Mm-hmm.
everybody thought that he was going to get beaten out in Indy by Anthony Richardson. And then turns out he won the job because
Mm-hmm.
it's Anthony Richardson. And
Mm-hmm.
he just hasn't looked back. He's been really good for them. I will say the rest of the team does help. You have a decent
Mm-hmm.
receiving core. The defense isn't horrible. Jonathan Taylor is a stud. So it's just an overall good team. And then on Arizona's side, you have Trey McBride. Marvin Harrison
Mm-hmm.
Jr. is getting better, I guess, but mostly it's Trey
Yeah.
McBride.
Yeah.
Their run game is shot now.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, if you're going to the end zone, don't cough up the ball.
yeah, do not put the ball on the ground. Do not let it leave your hands until you are crossed the goal line.
Exactly.
Like make sure that you can see the end zone underneath you before
Mm-hmm.
you let the ball go.
Exactly.
And don't kick it. If you have an interception and you fumble it, don't kick the ball. Fall on it. Because if you try to pick the
Yeah.
ball up, you're just going to kick it forward and mess
Mhm.
everything up. Fall on the ball. That's all you have to do.
Exactly.
Treat it like a
Yeah.
grenade. Just
Good,
fall on it.
good advice.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to listen to me because they're Arizona and they apparently never want to do that. And so I am
Mm-hmm.
going to take the Colts in this one.
100% agree with you there. So we're 3 for 3 so far.
We are. Honestly, this week feels a lot better. Now, I was pretty
Mm-hmm.
confident in week 5 as well until everything happened. But
Yeah.
I'm legitimately, I feel good about this week. So hopefully we'll do well. Next up, we have the Chargers and the Dolphins.
Yeah. Obviously, with the Chargers there, they need a bounce back game there from their big loss to the Commanders there. And
Yeah, only
what
putting up 10
appropriate
points is bad.
yeah. What proper team to do it against than the the sagging Miami Dolphins there.
Yeah, who let the Panthers, of all teams, come back and beat
Mm-hmm.
them. The Chargers'
Sure.
problem when they were facing the Commanders was I don't think they scored after the first quarter. They put up 10 points in the first quarter, decent, decent box
Mm-hmm.
score, and then they just
Mm-hmm.
scored nothing after
Yeah.
that. So the epitome of charging it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they don't do that against Miami because they will be on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible upsets happen. We certainly learned that last week. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, I do not have any faith in Miami, and so I'm taking the Chargers by default.
100% agree with you as well.
That was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one is kind of interesting only because they're fresh off their bye and it's a division game. We have the Browns going to the Steelers.
Yeah. Obviously, with the Browns, they're pretty much in a free fall themselves there.
Kind of. It's weird because like they find a way to lose because they
Yeah.
actually performed fairly well against
Yeah.
Minnesota and they just found a way to lose it somehow.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I don't really know what's going on there, but the cool thing about Cleveland is now they're officially going to be riding with Dylan Gabriel. He is their
Yeah.
starter because
Yeah.
they traded away Joe Flacco, and we will be discussing that later on
Mm-hmm.
in the pod. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think having to go into Pittsburgh and face them off of their bye is not good for anybody, but particularly Cleveland, who's kind of been struggling already. So
Sure.
I am going to go ahead and begrudgingly take the Steelers here, but I would love
Yeah.
an upset.
True. Yeah. Because within doubt, within doubt, there just go with Aaron Rodgers.
No, I think if in doubt, trust TJ Watt.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to trust Aaron Rodgers with anything pretty much, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I am going with him
Mm-hmm.
because TJ Watt's also on that team. So,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
he gets the benefit of that. All right, next we have Mac Jones and the San Francisco 49ers going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. The walking wounded Niners there, in my opinion. There.
Yeah, they're still the walking wounded, but Mac Jones and Bourne of all wide receivers turning into Brady and Moss randomly on a Thursday night is just weird.
Sure.
So them pulling that game off against the Rams, which by the way, that was going to be one of my honorable mentions, was the
Mm-hmm.
Rams game because
Yeah.
I found it funny that the week after I complained about the overtime rules allowing you to tie is the
Mm-hmm.
same week that the Rams decided, you know what, that stupid overtime rule, we're not going to do that. We're not going to tie. We're going to actually try to win the game. And it
Mm-hmm.
ended up costing them and thus me points. So
Mm-hmm.
a little frustrating. But also I jinxed Cardi
Yeah.
twice. He left 4 points on the board because I dared say one word about him
Mm-hmm.
in private, by the way. It was not even on video. It was just John and I were just kind of BSing, and I happened to make mention of Cardi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I cursed
Mm-hmm.
him. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
getting back to the Niners, I was fairly impressed with Mac Jones. I didn't think he would really be able to ball out the way that he did.
Sure. Good
Dino is
deal.
mad. Dino is mad, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have my pen. I need that. It's my fidget pen. I need it while I'm doing things. Can you not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, apparently he's fine. But anyway,
Yeah.
and then we have Tampa, who, like you said in our recap,
Mm-hmm.
did some pretty good things against Seattle. So this is
Sure.
going to be an interesting game, I think.
Yeah, it will be there. Could be a close one there, but I'm still going to go with the Bucks at home to beat the Niners.
Against my better judgment, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to take the Niners here, but every time I believe in them, they're kind of like Atlanta, and they decide to not show up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Bucks. And if I'm wrong, then good for Mac Jones.
Okay.
All right, and then next we have the Cowboys and the Panthers.
Yeah. Obviously, you heard the story about the Cowboys there. Jerry Jones getting fined for making the obscene gesture at Jet fans there.
Yeah. Although I heard that it was at Cowboys fans. Like he was flipping off his own fans because his own fans are mad at him for how he's running the team. Which valid.
Mm-hmm.
They have
Yeah.
every right to be mad at you because you're not
Yeah.
doing your job.
Yeah.
So
And I'm hearing he's appealing the fine there. Shocking.
I'm not surprised in the least, but
Mm-hmm.
also you clearly did it.
Mm-hmm. You're guilty.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what there is to appeal. We all clearly seen you do it. So
Mm-hmm.
just shut up and pay the fine like players have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then the
obviously with
Panthers, good comeback. So
yeah, the big comeback there. I kind of figured they were going to make a statement last week against the Dolphins there, and I was right apparently.
yeah, I mean that game really did feel very 50-50. Like it could have gone either direction. I just didn't expect Miami to, you know, blow a 17-point lead,
Yeah,
but I should
sure.
have. Good
Yeah,
for Carolina,
yeah,
but I think it's going to be a lot harder this week when they
yeah,
welcome Dallas home. So
sure.
I am going to take the Cowboys on the road here.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there.
All right. Well, next up, in what could be a very surprising, maybe a sleeper game of the week here, we have Seattle in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it could be there because of the Jags, their big comeback performance there against the Chiefs on Monday night there. Surprised me a lot.
Yeah. The Chiefs really blew that game. To be fair, like I'm gonna give credit to Jacksonville for winning,
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence
Mm-hmm.
for falling, getting back up, falling
Yeah,
again, and then somehow
yeah,
being able to run it in.
yeah,
That was a really cool play. Probably the funniest game-winning touchdown I've seen in a while.
exactly.
But the Chiefs should have been there to hit him after he stumbled. Like they were just standing around watching him walk into the end zone like they didn't even know the play was running. So
Sure.
very stupid.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say Lamar Jackson. Whoa,
Mm-hmm.
wrong player.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes throwing a
Yeah.
99-yard pick six also did not help matters any.
Yeah.
So yeah, they literally threw that game away.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
good for Jacksonville. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're very surprising, and I'm kind of happy for Liam Cohn. I think as a first year coach, seeing him actually succeed is pretty fun because he is turning the organization around a little bit. And if they're like this decent, surprisingly decent in his first year, Imagine
Mhm.
what they can do in another 2 or 3 years when they can actually
Mhm.
draft properly and help out the team a little bit. So it'll be
Exactly.
interesting to see what they do.
Mhm.
And then we have Seattle, who is a really good team still. Like did get beat by the Bucks, but they're still a really good team. Like they put up some really good numbers. So I'm hoping their
Exactly.
defense will do better this one.
Here's hoping there.
Yep.
But for me this week, I'm going to go with the Jags at home to beat the Seahawks.
I wanted to because they're at home and I was about to default to
Mhm.
home team,
Mhm.
but I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Jacksonville. I think that they are surprisingly good. I think that
Mhm.
they're capitalizing on mistakes that the opponent makes for sure,
Mhm.
but they haven't exactly impressed me on the
Yeah.
field. Whereas Seattle actually has, and I think that their run game is better. I think their defense is probably a little bit better, and I
Mhm.
trust Sam Darnold more than I trust Trevor Lawrence. So we finally have a split, and of course it's
Okay.
on this game. Sam, don't fail me now. John and I are both working against you now, so please find a way of overcoming that because John and I have kind of been tag teaming him right now in the jinx department. So hopefully everything will be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so moving right along, we have the aforementioned incredibly stupid Rams going to the Ravens, who,
Yeah.
poor Ravens, man.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I chose them to go to the Super Bowl this year, and just have done nothing. It's so sad.
Yeah. Obviously, with them, it's mostly injuries there, especially with Lamar Jackson there and a lot of their offensive players there and a couple defensive players as well.
Yeah, I will say having the defense be a little bit more injured. I don't really know like every player for them that's hurt. I should have gotten the injury report, but I didn't expect to be talking
Yeah.
about them too in depth here. But I just like Lamar Jackson going down definitely did hurt. I honestly expected Cooper Rush to do better than he did, but what I
Mhm.
didn't take into account was the fact that it was a completely different quarterback. And so you had to
Mhm.
really quickly like re-scheme your offense for him because he definitely can't do Lamar Jackson things. And
Mhm.
that should have played a role, and I should have taken the Texans in the upset. I should have been able to call that one, but I was fully expecting Derrick Henry to be the beast that I know he still is, and he's just not performing
Mhm.
well this year, like at all. And I'm honestly disappointed. I came very close to benching him in my fantasy just for the sake of jinxing him into doing well,
Mhm.
like I did with Lad McConkey for the Chargers, because I put Lad McConkey on my bench, knowing full well that he would pop off once I did, and then he did. So I'm tempted to do the same for Derrick Henry, but at the same time, I don't really have any other running backs that I could use. And so you're like kind of my last hope here, King. I need you to start, you know, doing your job, please.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. For me this week, I'm going to go with the Rams on the road to beat the injury-prone Ravens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're going to recover from their stupid in time, and they're going to be able to beat the Ravens just because the Ravens are they're kind of struggling. I think that they could win this game easily, but I'm gonna choose to try to jinx them into doing well just by not believing in them because it worked in the past. So Derrick Henry
It's a
just
good
can't carry the
strategy.
rock like he used to, and the Ravens are going nowhere this year. All right, next up is kind of the dumpster game of the week. Here we have the Titans and the Raiders. Could be sneaky good, more
Yeah.
than likely going to be obviously bad.
True. There.
So
Yeah. Who knows what this game is going to produce there? It's probably going to be
it's
turn off your sets right now.
it's going to be interesting. Like I'll say that because like Tennessee now has some momentum going in, whereas the Raiders don't. So maybe they can ride that
Mm-hmm.
momentum to victory with
Mm-hmm.
whatever offense they've got. Like, I don't know. I will say I do think that they should be getting Tyler Lockett involved more because, quite frankly, I forgot he went there.
Mm-hmm.
I was fully expecting them to get him involved earlier on in the year, and then they just didn't until last week. They've been trying to force feed Calvin Ridley, which I understand, but maybe use your entire offense a little bit better. I think they also still have Tony Pollard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
True.
like they have a decent like offense from a talent perspective. They just need to actually put it all together. And then same with the
Yeah.
Raiders. They have Ashton Genty, who's a Ferrari in a trailer park right now. Brock
Yeah.
Bowers, if he's able to play, is one of the best tight ends in the league. And
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? The dude that I have in my fantasy team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Myers is turning out to be a
Yeah.
fairly decent weapon for Geno Smith. Is the problem is Geno Smith? Honestly, he's doing Geno things, and he's continuously, coughing the ball up or hanging on to it too long, making really bonehead decisions. So he needs to figure that
True.
stuff out, and then there'll
Mm-hmm.
be, a sneaky good team here. So I'm gonna let you take this one first. Honestly,
Yeah.
who do you have?
For me, there, I'm going to go with the Raiders at home to beat the Titans there.
All right, yeah, same. And literally just because they're at home, um, it could go either way. I could see Tennessee winning. I could see the Raiders holding on to win. I could see a blowout from one of them. I could see overtime. I could see a tie. Nothing is off the table. Like anything could
Yeah.
happen.
Exactly.
Insanity.
Yeah.
All right. So next up is a game that I am, in a weird way, kind of looking forward to because I would love to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Cincinnati Bengals going to Green Bay, facing the
Mm-hmm.
Packers off of their bye,
Yeah.
and the Bengals have made a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Browning ain't that one,
Nope.
and he will now be the backup to Joe Flacco. They traded with
Surprise.
inside the
Surprise.
division to get Joe Flacco off of the Cleveland Browns, and now he will be starting against the Packers, who
Mm-hmm.
he beat earlier on in the season when he was a Cleveland Brown. So he has a chance to
Yeah.
beat the Packers twice in one season on two different teams, and I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. Everybody would love to see that there.
I would love to see that happen the exact same way that Cleveland won with a last second field goal. Let Evan
Yeah.
McPherson do what Money McPherson does and kill the hopes
Mm-hmm.
and dreams of the Packers. I would love to see that.
True. There. Yeah.
Now that I say that and I spoke it into the universe, that is not going to happen 100%. And Evan McPherson will miss the game go ahead field goal, maybe an extra
True.
point that would tie the game. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. To me, this is a no-brainer there. The Packers are way
Yeah,
too powerful of a team there, and the Bengals
just write
there,
this down for you now.
Bengals with Joe Flacco at quarterback is more of a band-aid solution till Joe Burrow gets back in December there.
Yeah, like I really listen. I do like Joe Flacco. I think that he's always been kind of one of those underrated QBs, but at the same time, most of his career he's been carried by the defense. Like when he was in Baltimore, the defense was that team. So I understand all the criticisms for him, but I really do think that he will be helpful for Cincinnati. I truly believe that. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it will be a lot closer than people are expecting it to be. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
trusting the home team off of their bye because, of course,
Mm-hmm.
they're the home team off of their bye. And Green Bay
Yeah,
gets to kind of waltz into mid-season form. So I'm in agreement. But I would love
100% there.
for the second Joe in Cincinnati to actually do well.
Yeah, lock it in.
Yep. Unfortunately, locking that in. Next up, we have the ever surprising New England Patriots, who, by the way, last week I did say that you can't say it's a no brainer and it'll be a blowout because New England has beaten Buffalo before, and then they did. going
Mm-hmm.
to the New Orleans Saints, who surprised a lot of people by beating the Giants. So
Yeah.
both teams are very surprising
Yeah.
this week.
Surprising wins last week for both
Yeah,
teams there.
yeah, exactly. They're surprising coming into this week. The rest of the season, we don't really talk about that. They
Yeah.
are what we thought they were. But last
Yeah.
week was very good.
Yeah. I was more surprised about the Spencer Rattler's play last week against the Giants there.
Yeah, he did well.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Shocking.
there was a stat, I think he was like the first quarterback to get a win that they drafted
Oh,
since what was it? Was it 98? I think was the stat that I seen.
yeah. Could be.
I might be wrong because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't save it because I'm an idiot. But I
Yeah.
think that was what I scrolled past was like 1998 or something, like the first QB that they
Yeah.
drafted that got them a win. So that
Yeah.
good on him. He played well. So
That,
we'll see.
that, yeah. And the Patriots, their that last second win there against the Bills, there that pretty much shocked me there as well.
It was so exciting, and that was another game that I watched. It was kind of ironic that both Denver and New England had game-winning field goals in such a manner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they both upset the undefeated teams
Yeah.
on the road too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both upset undefeated teams in the undefeated team's home stadium. That's
Yeah.
insane. John, I'm gonna have to text you about this when our recording is over because you know some things that I'm not talking about in the podcast. So one more
Okay.
layer that goes onto that, just so you know
Yeah. So
from the
like
past.
a
I am
layer of
texting you.
onions.
Yeah, exactly. I am 100% texting you about that because that just dawned on me, and oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, back to this game. Patriots and Saints could be interesting, could be close because the Patriots do have a tendency to kind of fall apart randomly, and they could lose a
True.
really stupid game like this to the Saints. But I'm
Yeah.
fairly confident here, and I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah. 100% agree with you as well.
All right. I was really hoping we wouldn't split on that because it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to split on.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Next, we have the Sunday night football game
Mm-hmm.
where my Lions will be going to the Chiefs. Both of these teams will be angry heading in. The Chiefs because they lost, and Detroit because they're Detroit and they're just always angry. So
Yeah. Sure.
it's going to be an angry game. One's just filled with aggression and anger, and one's going to be a little bit desperate and angry.
Exactly.
So, what are your thoughts heading into this? Because I could
Yeah.
honestly see either game or either team winning. So,
Yeah. Obviously, the the Chiefs there, they need a bounce back game after that fumbling game against the Jags there.
yeah, they had such a bad outing against the Jags. Again, it was primarily not hitting Trevor Lawrence when he literally fell in front of you and then throwing a 99-yard pick six. Those were
Yeah.
absolutely horrible. And
True.
also, we had another stupid with the kicking team
Mm-hmm.
because Butker kicked it out of bounds,
Yeah.
which gave Jacksonville the ball on the 40. So they did the exact same thing that
True.
two other teams prior have done and have given the opponent prime field position. I don't
Yeah.
understand how we don't know this rule yet when it's week
Mm-hmm.
6. Like, we should have been aware of this by now.
True. For me, there, I think we're going to have another split because I went with the Chiefs at home to beat the Lions.
Yeah, we do have a split. I honestly was gonna take the Chiefs because I was gonna try to do my usual, like, if I don't believe in you, then you'll actually win kind of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I can't go against them. You know, they are so scrappy. They are going to be
Yeah.
out a few pieces. Terrion Arnold does have a shoulder injury, and despite what the haters do say the defense is better when he's on the field. He makes a few mistakes. He's a little bit handsy, but when he's on the field, the defense is better. It's statistically proven. So they will be suffering a little bit. But I am in complete and total belief from Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. I think that their secondary will be fine. Their front four is also going to be fine. It's honestly going to be the offense going against the Chiefs' defense that concerns me the most right now, because the Chiefs' defense is still really good when they actually pay attention to what's going on in the field. So I think it's going to be a good game. Definitely could be game of the week here. Should be game of the week. But I'm going to trust in my Lions and just roll with it and see what happens. All right. Next is the first of the two, again, Monday Night Football games. I hate having two Monday Nighters so much. We have the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons coming off of their bye week. What a team for them to be hosting, though. Buffalo, after they get embarrassed by a division rival at home, not the best of teams to be facing off of your bye.
Yeah. Obviously, Josh Allen needs a bounce back game, and what better team to do it against than the struggling Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll say that there's a few teams that I would much rather face than Atlanta, because Atlanta isn't exactly a slouch. Their defense is decent, and their offense, when it gets clicking, is not bad. And they are fresh coming off of their bye, so I'm not going to say that it's a no-brainer and that the Bills are going to absolutely demolish Atlanta. But that being said, I am definitely going with the Bills to demolish Atlanta. I think that they're angry.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, the man that you are, is going to go off. I'm fully expecting that. So that is my pick. Are you also taking the Bills?
Obviously, 100% agree.
All right, just had to be sure. I'm pretty sure you said that, but I had to confirm. Last game up, we have the Bears off of their bye, going to Washington off of their win over the Chargers.
Yeah. To me, this is the rematch I've been waiting for since last year when the
Fail Mary.
Commanders there with their big Hail Mary catch
Yep.
there against the Bears there.
Yeah, it was honestly, the one time that I actually trusted the Bears to do something with their frickin' time, they do that. And they're not paying attention to the game at all. And they let Jaden Daniels throw a Hail Mary to the only guy that was there, pretty much. And the safety of Chicago just was not paying attention. And one of the few games that made me hit the floor. It was insane.
Exactly.
So I'm with you on that. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. I'm just going to be upfront and just say it. I'm taking the Commanders. I'm not going with the Bears. I cannot trust the Bears. And F the Bears today, tomorrow, and forever.
Yeah. Obviously, you still hate Ben Johnson for leaving the Lions for a divisional rival.
Yeah. I'm always going to have a little bit of ill will there because, like, I'm looking at the landscape of coaching right now. And again, if you would have stayed one more year, you could have had the Bengals. You could have had the Bengals next year with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson, and then time to build a team around that. You could have gone to the AFC and taken the Bengals job. I just it's going to leave a bad taste in Lions fans' mouths for a very long time. We do not forget.
So this week we only had the 2 split games there.
Oh, so you also took the Commanders then?
Yeah, 100% agree with you.
All right.
Jaden Daniels is back in the saddle again.
Yep, having Jaden Daniels back is definitely helpful. So I'm fully expecting them to do good things and kind of
Yeah.
quell the momentum that the Bears could be having.
Mm-hmm.
So good. We only have 2 splits. That's good. Better than an odd number. And for once, we don't just have one. So things are at least interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is very
Sure.
good.
Hopefully, it'll help us get back strong
Yep.
in the standings there.
Hopefully. We need a lot of people to disagree with us, though, unfortunately, for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And considering that this week seems mostly pretty straightforward, I don't really see that happening. So we'll see,
Sure.
though. We will see. Let
Yeah.
me go ahead
Yeah.
and pull up the
So,
picks.
that's what we thought there, and it's time now to find out how our friends feel with their picks.
Yep, indeed. We have, first up, as always, in our list, we have John, who unfortunately did not include the thirst emoji in his Chiefs pick last week. And that is our lore for why they lost, because he didn't like properly lock in the thirst. So
Mm-hmm.
just putting that out there. So John has the Eagles, Broncos, Colts, Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys, his Seahawks, the Rams, Patriots, Raiders, Bucks, Packers, Lions, Bills, and Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He's being a little bit risky with the Bears. He knew that. So we'll see
Yeah.
if it works out for you.
Yeah. Thanks
Spoiler
a
alert,
lot.
I hope it doesn't. All right, and then next we have SDS, who has the Eagles, the Broncos. Even my level of spite towards Duckface can't outweigh the fact that the Jets are too horrible to beat anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has the Seahawks, just asking them to please beat the actual crap out of Liam Cohn. The Chargers, the Rams, the Colts, saying Indiana Jones and the duel of the goal line fumblers. The Cowboys, Patriots, Steelers, Raiders, the Bucks. Hey, look, another backup QB. And yet the Bucks will still find a way of making this cardiac again.
Yeah.
The Bengals, because Flacco's eliteness got them once, it'll happen again.
Okay.
The Lions, the Bills, and the Commanders, asking them to please win on a Hail Mary again. It'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It would. I'd be down. But at the same time, I don't want it to be stressful. So can we just not? Can we not do that?
Mm-hmm.
Just win. That's all I ask.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we have Buff, who took the Eagles, Broncos, Jags, Chargers, Rams, Colts, Panthers, Saints, Steelers, Raiders, Bucks, the Bengals, the Chiefs, Bills, and Commanders. And then we have Papa Agron, who took the Eagles over the Giants. Still rooting for that meteor, though.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos over the Jets. Feels like I picked the Broncos to win the Super Bowl somewhere. Seahawks over the Jaguars. Chargers over the Dolphins. Sure, everyone's injured, but come on. Rams over the Ravens. It was a nice dream thinking on all the yards King Henry was going to get. Colts over the Cardinals. It makes him laugh to see players do well when they get traded or released from the Giants.
Yep.
Cowboys over the Panthers. Patriots over the Saints. Steelers over the Browns. 7 turnovers combined. Raiders over the Titans. Bucks over the 49ers because Baker's going to bake. Bengals over the Packers. Going with an upset. Joe Flacco gonna fly. Lions over the Chiefs. Your revenge for whatever reason. Bills over the Falcons, saying it's going to be a beatdown. And Commanders over the Bears. And then we have Troll.
Oh, my buddy.
Yeah, he got a lot over on you in the last week. So that was good. Especially the Eagles game where you gave him Denver and it actually worked out brilliantly. It was great.
Yeah, that's my gift
So,
to him.
yeah, exactly. And Merry early Christmas. So, Troll has the Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, 49ers, Panthers, Seahawks, Ravens, Titans, Bengals, his Saints, my Lions, the Falcons in a random upset, and the Bears. And then we've got Rev, who took the Eagles, Jets, Rams, Jags, Panthers, Steelers, Patriots, Chargers, Colts, Titans, Bucks, Bills, Packers, Lions, and Commanders. Also, hope you feel better soon, Rev. And then we've got Beegers, who took the Eagles, Broncos, Cowboys, Chargers, Colts, the Steelers. I hate this pick so much. The Rams over his Ravens, saying, I hate this one even more, but we can survive one more game, right?
Yeah.
The Jaguars, Buccaneers, Raiders, Packers, Patriots, Chiefs, Lions fan this week, so I hope I'm wrong on this one. The Bills and the Commanders to round him off. And then there is Owl, who had a tremendous week with 5, with the Eagles, Jets in an upset, Cardinals, Chargers, Steelers, 49ers, Panthers, Seahawks, Ravens, Raiders, Bengals, Saints again in an upset, Lions, Falcons, and Bears. So man's out here just trying to pick upsets, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And then there is Draz, who has Eagles beating the Giants, Broncos beating the Jets, Seahawks beat Jags, Chargers beat Dolphins, Rams beat the Ravens, Colts beat the Cardinals, Cowboys beat Panthers, Steelers beat the Browns, Patriots beat Saints, Raiders beat Titans, the Bucks are going to beat the 49ers, Packers beat the Bengals, Lions over Chiefs, Bills beat Falcons, and Commanders beat the Bears.
Okay.
And then finally, we have Alex Fay, who took the Eagles, Broncos, Jags, Chargers, Rams, Colts, Cowboys, Patriots, Steelers, Raiders, Bucks, Packers, Lions, Bills, and Commanders. What a week this is likely going to be.
Yeah. It could go either way in our picks there.
Honestly, I'm expecting another disaster. I'm really hoping that this week goes better, but I was confident in week 5 and I went 4-10. So, and I think I only won like 1, maybe 2 of my fantasy matchups, and one of them was because the opponent had a bunch of people injured, but he didn't have any replacements for them, so it was basically like a free win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, my fantasy team, especially the ESPN one, it's not great. Not great.
Yeah.
So,
Took a beating.
Yeah, but I mean, at least my Dynasty League's doing okay. But that is going to do it for week 6 of our Pride and Joy predictions. Be sure to check out the links down below for other ways of connecting with me. Check out Spotify for this podcast if you choose to get your podcast there rather than on YouTube. That will simply just be the audio version. There won't be a video to follow along with.
Obviously, hit the like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all our future videos on here. And
exactly.
Thank you to the members of our Patreon.
Yep, members of the channel. It's just the join button through YouTube. Your name is scrolling up above. Per the usual, at the end of this video and all of my Pogo videos as well, they will be scrolling there. So if you guys want to see your name scrolling as well, go ahead and click the join button, see if any of the perks tickle your fancy. And we definitely do appreciate all the added support of Richard, Sandra, RSLS, Linda, and BNet Transport videos, per the usual.
Sure.
And we will catch you guys next week for week 7 of this podcast, where hopefully the records are not below 5.
But you never know.
You never know, but I'm just hoping for 500 at this point.
Sure. Thank you all. See you all next week.
Yep. See you then.